To the Ashanti region now, where lawyer for chief executive of Jospong group of companies, Jospong, has been convicted of contempt by a Kumasi High Court. Kweku Osafo Boabing's conviction follows his client's defiance of an order to close down his JA Plants Pool company at Jolu in Accra. He has up to 1 week to pay a fine of 10,000 Ghana cedis, or in default, serve 1 month in jail. Love FM's Erastus Asaridonko reports.
Mr. Siang Ajapon and manager of JA Plant Pool, Patrick Asagba, were cited in the contempt application, but the court said the applicant failed to provide evidence they defied its order. In 2015, one Alhaji Abbas sent his car for servicing at JA Plant Pool at Jowulu in Accra, but the vehicle was detained for alleged default by the client in the payment of a loan from a bank. The vehicle owner filed a suit in court to challenge the company's action and secured relief in the sum of 1,350,000 Ghana cedis against Mr. Siang Ajapon. When the respondent failed to honor it, Alhaji Abbas filed entry of the judgment and got the premises of JA Plant Pool locked on 20th December last year. Lawyer for Siang Ajapon swore an affidavit late last year as authorized person standing in for the company to file a stay of execution of the judgment and a notice of appeal. Before the case could be heard, however, JA Plant Pool opened its premises to resume work, prompting a contempt application against the three officials. Delivering judgment, Justice Samuel Obindiewu said Alhaji Abbas was able to prove contempt against only lawyer Osafo Boabing. Counsel for the applicant, Kwame Adofo, had some concerns about the judgment.
There were three respondents, people we cited for contempt. First one was Joseph Siang Ajapon, who happens to be the CEO of Zoom Lion. We cited his lawyer, Mr. Osafo Boabing, and the third respondent was one Mr. Patrick Asagba, who happens to be the manager of Mr. Siang Ajapon in one of his businesses with a headquarters of a place called Jolu in Accra. Now, interestingly, the court found that the second respondent, who happens to be the lawyer, liable, and therefore we were able to prove it. But incredibly, the court found that we were not able to prove that the first respondent, in this case Mr. Siang Ajapon, and the manager were liable. This is where we find it difficult to understand. But of course, as always, once we get a ruling, we will get to see the reasoning behind the ruling.
You find it strange. Why do you find it strange?
It's important to note that we find it strange because when you look at the act itself, a person's company has been locked up, and once it's been locked up by the sheriff or the registrar of the court, he at that time, if he turns around and says the company has been open, but I do not know how it was open, the question is, when he became aware of the act or the conduct of opening the lock in violation of the court process, what did he do about it? Did he go and relock the place up again?
Reporting for JoyNews, Erastus Asaridonko, Kumasi.
And I'm Daniel Dazi here in Accra. It's time for business. Sandra Esenamapenu is standing by.